Welcome to People and Profit. I'm Kate Moody. Coming up, is meatless meat the next food revolution? We'll speak to one vegan producer about how his company is disrupting the food chain. They've become a part of our daily routine, but has the podcast industry reached its peak? And we visit a town that's welcoming an exodus of Parisians seeking a quiet country life and boosting the economy in the process. Meat alternatives are among the fastest growing sectors in the food industry. For ethical or health reasons, as full-time vegetarians or just fans of Meatless Monday, many consumers are adapting their diets. Global sales of meat substitutes are growing steadily. Demand for plant-based products surged during the pandemic, and the market's now worth around $20 billion, according to Euromonitor. Let's speak now to Bernat Añaños, co-founder of Heura Foods, a vegan producer that's currently selling in over a dozen countries. Thanks for joining us. Your company is Europe's fastest growing alternative meat brand. Why do you think consumers are so interested in trying plant-based meat?
First of all, thank you for having us and give us a voice. I think people now are trying more plant-based meat because now more than ever, people have the information that meat, traditional meat has with the planet, with the animals, and with our health. And with all this information, consumers now decide to connect their consumer habits with their values.
Now, you're based in Spain, where culinary tradition uses a lot of meat, ham, chorizo. A lot of other markets represent similar cultural challenges. How do you convince consumers to step away from that?
At the end, something that I want to make very clear is that we love meat. As a Spaniard, I love meat. I just don't like the consequences of it. And I'm sure the majority of the people don't like the consequences of it. So what we're trying to do from this company, in other companies around the world are trying to do, is to show that there is a better way of creating meat, that we can actually get the texture, get the flavors, get the experience of meat directly from plants, because the plant kingdom is very diverse and very powerful. So we just have to go there and find it.
The two major arguments for veganism tend to revolve around animal protection and environmental impact. What drives Heura's business?
At the end, we're a mission-driven company. We started Mark and myself 4 years and a half ago because we wanted to have a positive impact in the things we care. And when we say the things we care, at the end, it's planet, it's animals, but it's also people's health, because the current system does not protect the health of the humans, of everyone that's consuming. There is a lack of information of what impact certain products have with our health. So what we're trying to do is to create products that are very simple, that are very healthy, that have a very positive impact in the planet, and obviously that put outside the animal from the production equation. This is our core. This is why we exist.
One concern for potential buyers is price. Can your vegan products be competitive with meat?
We can, and we will, and we need, because at the end, we have to create products that are democratic for everyone. We have the commitment of price parity on 2025, because we are putting a lot of effort on understanding the whole supply chain, the whole process, and finding every single step that we can improve and make it more efficient. So then when people go to a supermarket, they find animal protein and they find Heura protein and they can choose. And the only way of giving freedom to people is to put democratic products on the market. So that's our obsession as a company.
Now, your products are soy-based. As you start reaching into new markets, where are you going to be producing this food? Is it going to be local?
We have soy products and we also have pea protein products. And we will be diversifying a lot of proteins and cereals that we use to create the products. And yes, we are now understanding how is our expansion, which are the key countries, and how we can make it more local. So if, for example, we want to expand into Asia, for sure we will be finding ways of producing in Asia, the same in America, and also diversifying different production lines in Europe. So our footprint is lower, which is our main objective.
The pandemic has exposed the fragility of global supply chains. There have been concerns about food security in some parts of the world. How has the pandemic affected your business?
At the end, the pandemic did something that is connecting dots. A lot of people, a lot of consumers, a lot of people that go to supermarkets and restaurants every day, they connect the dot that there is no way of protecting ourselves as humans, protecting our health as humans if we are not protecting animals or protecting the planet. And we all are part of the system. So I think the best outcome of this is that we have to see planet, animals, and people as one and put all the efforts on actually protecting each other. So it's the only way of surviving and enjoying this country and keep enjoying the traditions, gastronomy, the dishes we love.
Now, this is a sector with more and more competition. Why are you targeting individual shoppers rather than perhaps targeting restaurant chains as some of your competitors do?
Actually, our aim is to be everywhere. So we are in restaurant chains, we are in supermarket chains, but also we are in a lot of independent restaurants, independent shops. At the end, what we are like our efforts and our commercial team and sales team and expansion team, it's to put a solution to every individual, either if it's an owner from a chain or an owner from an independent restaurant, to have an option. What we have to do as a company, what we have to do as a plant-based movement, not just now talking about Heura, is to give options to people. Because when the options will be there, I'm sure more and more people will be making this step.
What kind of consumers are you guys targeting?
We target everyone. Our communication, it's focused on informing people that are vegan or vegetarian, but also informing all those people that want to reduce the amount of meat, the amount of intake. In Europe is around 40%. 40% of the people are reducing the amount of meat. And this is like crazy numbers. So these people need information because they seek information, but also they need allies in the kitchen. So we're targeting especially this group of people because this group of people can have a great impact. And if we accelerate, inform, and empower with great products and information, this group of people, I'm sure that we will be accelerating the whole protein transition.
Bernat Añaños, co-founder of Heura Foods, thanks so much for joining us today. Well, whether it's on your commute or during your downtime, for many, podcasts are now a top source of news, entertainment, or inspiration. More listeners tuned in during the pandemic, and major tech giants, publishers, and artists are jumping into the podcast game. Advertisers are spending more on podcasts too, but competition is stiff in an increasingly saturated market. Yuka Royer is here with more. Yuka, how big is the podcast industry and who are the major players?
Well, Kate, the sector has been growing rapidly, especially since the start of the pandemic, but its size varies from country to country, depending on how widespread smartphones and smart speakers are. In the United States, 28% of people over the age of 12 listens to podcasts weekly. Apple and Spotify are the leading forces, but the Swedish firm is growing faster. As of March, the company had 356 million monthly active users and 158 million subscribers for its 2.5 million podcast titles. Facebook has also launched its own podcasts and live audio chat rooms.
How do podcasts make money?
Advertising is the biggest source of revenue. In the US, it's expected to bring in more than $1 billion this year. Commission from affiliated products or sponsorships with the host promoting certain items or companies during their shows can also generate revenue. And because most podcasts are evergreen, older episodes can continue to be monetized whenever they're listened to. Some, though, prefer to offer ad-free content through subscriptions. Both Apple and Spotify are switching some of their offerings to a paid format.
So what comes next for the industry? How will it continue to grow?
Well, advertisers will look more closely at various demographic figures to see how to diversify their offers and better identify their target audience. Markets such as China are also growing. Digital audio listeners there are expected to reach 690 million by next year. That's a 60% increase from 2018. Getting big-name guests or mentions from influencers can also expand the listener base. Spotify has clinched big deals with celebrities like Barack and Michelle Obama and Prince Harry and Meghan Markle.
Yuka, thanks so much for that briefing. And just a reminder to our viewers that People and Profit is also available as a podcast on your platform of choice. Next, from city dweller to country lover, the pandemic has sparked something of an urban exodus from cities around the world. The French town of Joigny in Burgundy has seen a boom in house sales and economic activity as Parisians look for some peace and quiet.
A large garden overlooking a spectacular valley. That's what attracted Dominique Guimet to this house in Joigny, which he bought as a holiday home 4 years ago.
Le jardin, l'espace, une petite piscine, toutes choses que nous n'avons pas à Paris.
Just a 2-hour drive from Paris, this is where he spends most of his time now. Since the first coronavirus lockdown in March of last year, he's been working from home. The website manager hopes to continue doing so.
On avait un petit peu peur, la province, bon, voilà, on est quand même très parisien à la base. Et finalement, vraiment, on y a pris goût au jardin, à regarder pousser ses tomates, à faire des activités qu'on n'avait pas du tout l'habitude de faire, quoi.
He's not alone. In the department of Yann, Parisians now account for 27% of home buyers. Newcomers are bringing opportunities to local businesses. Emmanuel Poichot opened a delicatessen last October.
On l'a vraiment ressenti au moment du deuxième confinement, où on a une clientèle de franciliens. C'est tout bénéfice pour le centre-ville, qui est en train vraiment de renaître.
A revival for a town that's been in economic decline for more than a decade. Almost all public institutions in the town closed during the 2009 financial crisis. The pandemic-led exodus of Parisians provides a ray of hope to Joigny.
Ça a été vraiment dur pour nous. Donc aujourd'hui, de voir arriver de nouvelles populations qui s'installent, qui consomment et qui aiment notre territoire, c'est une belle revanche.
Rising demand is having an impact on the local real estate market. The average price of a house in Joigny has increased by more than 10% over the past year.
That's all for now, but you can rewatch this and all our previous episodes on the France 24 website, and you can get in touch with your comments and questions on social media. Until next time, thanks for watching.